Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Riad here again with another Game Maker project. In this video, or I think it's gonna be a series, not a single video, but we're going to make a multiplayer platformer, including I don't know, it's actually a game where basically it's a war game, so you can team up with other players and I don't know, stuff like that. It's a war, okay, and including a chat system and surviving mode or team deathmatch mode or all that stuff. And yeah, so the first thing you need to do, actually I just have here just a room here and some sprites for the game, of course, and a tile sets here. I'm not really interested in the level design or stuff like that. I'm actually interested with programming. So since it's a multiplayer game, I mean, um, we need to prepare the server and the client. So let's go and make two objects here. First one is the server, and the second one is the client, of course. And we're also going to make a bunch of scripts here, but for now, okay, wait. Okay, so for now we're going to have this script that contains the main variables for the game. Okay. Alright. So, variables that we are going to need is well, first of all, the server port, the client port. So, okay, the IP, of course. So, oh, IP. Alright, max client. I don't know, like 60 or I don't know, 8, whatever. Server mode. Wait, that doesn't. No, it's not important to be global variables, but yep, that's all for now, I think. Okay, so for the server, let's go to server here, create event. Alright, so let's initialize. I hate typing initialize the server. So we're gonna need a bunch of buffers here, but first of all we're gonna need player buffer. Yeah, for now we're just going to have this buffer. So we're going to create a buffer. Okay, create buffer. Create buffer, create. Okay. So the size, and I recommend that you use buffer grow as the type, and the alignment is 1, of course. So yeah, so now we're going to initialize the server. So server equals network create server. Okay. So the type is network socket TCP, since we're going to deal with the TCP protocol. The port is global server port and the max client. Alright, so with these functions, the first one here is to create a buffer, and the buffer is just a piece of memory where you can store data or whatever. And this second function, well, it's basically to create a server. So first of all, so we're going to check if the server is created. So and to do that, just put if server not equals 0. That means the operation failed. And in this case, we need to, first of all, we're gonna tell the player that the server is not created, so cannot create a server. What's that server? Make sure that the port is not used by other software. Okay. And then, so if the servers fail, then we need to destroy this buffer, which is player buffer, and destroy also other buffers when we create them later, and game restart. And we also need to, destroy the server, since destroy, okay, server. Now otherwise we're going to have you know what, after thinking, I guess we need this variable global server type equal let's, okay, yes, let me think here. So 0 is survive mode, 1 is deathmatch, 2 equals team deathmatch, I think. And maybe we're going to add the capture the flag or something, but for now it's not important right now. So let's just set up the server. So we're going to have a map for the clients. So this map create, and of course a list of the sockets. Alright. Okay. Alright, now let's go back to let's go to the client, since it's the first time, and here we're going to connect to the server. So the clients need a socket, so network create socket. Alright, the type is TCP, of course only TCP. The socket's job is actually to send the buffers to the server. That's all what it does. We also need the buffer, so let's create the buffer create. Alright, so choose the size here, and buffer grow, and alignment is 1. And then we're going to connect to the server by this function, network connect. Pretty simple. So the socket is the socket that we just created. The URL is basically the IP of the server. Okay, and the port is client port. Okay, and then we're going to check the same thing here, if the connection fails or not. So if connect, if connect not equals 0, then show message cannot connect to the server. Game restored and buffer delayed. Buffer network destroy. Oops, destroy. Yeah. So we're going to destroy the connection socket, since actually I think this function returns a socket ID or something. Yeah, it returns a real, and I believe it's a socket ID. And we also need to destroy the socket. Alright, and Yeah, so the clients need an extra variables, so just to to know how to handle the game depending on the server. So server type equals for now 0. Since the client cannot know the server type if he's not actually in the server. Alright, so we're just leaving this variables right here for now. And we need to go back to the server here and add a networking event. So in our networking event, we're going to get data from other clients, and of course adding or removing clients from the server. Alright, so this networking event is triggered when someone is trying to connect to the server or disconnect from the server, and also it's triggered when a client is sending data to the server. So how can we know the type of operation that triggered the server? Well, basically GameMaker has a map for that, and that's the async load map. And for the networker we have a key here named ID. So ID, basically this value here that we're getting from the async load map returns actually it actually help you with dealing with how to handle stuffs on the server. So basically, if this event ID, let me just change this to capital D. So event ID is from the server. Event ID. So if the event ID is from the server, that means someone is trying to connect. Someone is trying to connect or disconnect, right? How can we know that? Well, we're going to have one more variable here, and we're going to get it from the same map here. We're just going to change the key here to type, right? And we're going to have also the socket. Let me just socket. So if type is now if type is network type connect, that means someone is trying to connect to the server right now. So what we are going to do is add the socket. So add the socket of the current player that is trying to connect to our sockets list. Alright, so we'll just do that by this function, dslist add to our sockets list, and the socket that we are going to add is the socket that we get from this function. Alright, else if type equals network type disconnect. So basically someone is trying to, oh wait, so here we also need to add the socket to the map, the client's map, as a key. Alright, so the socket here is the key, and the value we're just going to have no one here, because when the player first connects to the server, we will not spawn his player to the game, because he may want to just watch the other player play, and yeah, so if you wanna spawn his player, then he needs to ask for player request. Okay, once he does, then we're going to spawn a player for him. But don't worry for that now. We're just here for basic stuffs on the server. And yeah, as I was telling you here, someone is trying to disconnect. So what we're going to do is remove the, well, wait here. We're going to remove the socket from the map. So remove or delete the ID is our client's map. The key here is socket. Alright? And we also need to remove it from the list. So this list, find index, socket, and socket here for the player's socket that is trying to disconnect, and then ds list remove or delete sockets socket. Index here, because in this parameter here we need the position of the of the socket, not the value. Okay, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But when we add the player to this value here, then we need to destroy the player, the client player. Right, so we're going to come back here once we create the player and destroy it. So wait, that's a mess. Okay. Yep. So let's go back here to the client and add one more variable, and it's global dot. Well, what am I doing? Global dot socket equals socket. So this. Wait, what? Okay. So this we're going to use this variable to actually know how to deal with our local client. All right. So here we're going to check if the event ID is coming from our local socket. So, and in this case we're just going to ignore him, because there's no need to actually get data from our local client. That doesn't make any sense. And else that means this time we're dealing with other clients that are not in our local game. So get data from other clients. And you know what, we actually think we need to create a script here, connect and disconnect. Okay, just to make so let's copy that. Okay, and here we're going to receive data. Okay, so this is just the functions that we're going to create right now. Alright, receive function. Receive data. Okay, so in this script we're going to get first of all the buffer and the socket. So using the same way here, so we're getting it from the map. Okay, but this time we're getting the ID of the socket, which basically return the ID of the socket. And for the buffer, the key here is buffer. So you can check the Game Maker Studios help file or whatever you call it. Yeah. So as you can see here, we have the type. This will have constants listed below as its return value, and this the network event type. Whoa, can you hear my little sister crying here? God. Alright, yeah, so you can read that if you want, but you can figure out stuff without looking at this. Whatever. Yeah. Well, since we're not actually sending any data right now, we're not messing with this script for now. Okay. But let's actually make a quick menu here. obj menu. Alright, and let's add a step event. So it's actually just a simple menu. We're going to change this later. So here we're going to choose if we are hosting the server or just you know, joining another server that is not in our machine. So in this case, if we press the H key, then we're going to create the server. Alright, obj server, and of course we need a client. And then we will destroy the menu, so we cannot actually create two servers, or you know. Alright, so let's duplicate this, or copy and paste it here. Let's change the key here to J, and when we press J key, then we're going just to spawn a client. Alright, and so let's get back to the server here. Let's add the draw event just for, you know, debugging, and let's draw the text here, string ds list size sockets. So just to show you that we are actually connecting this server. Socket. Oh, that's a big. Oh, why? Okay, somehow I pressed F9. Yep, but we need to change the color, I believe, to white. Draw set color. See white, since the background is black, and oh wait, actually it's not black at all. Yeah, it's not. But I usually set it as black. So yeah. Yeah. So we're going to put the menu here. Oh, why is the menu in the network and folder? Okay, just drag it off. Okay, so this is the menu, and yeah. So for quick testing, I'm going to run the server here or the game, and let's see how many errors we got. Okay, so I'm pressing H here. Yep, max. Oh yeah, I always forget to you know. So let's make another room. I usually call it init room, and in this room we're going to call this global this script that contains the global variables, and then we're going to the next room. Okay. So I just prefer to, you know, initialize the global variables at the very start of the game. Okay, since if you know, the global variables are not deleted when you know, when you change the room or something, they still in the game the whole time. Okay, so make sure that this room is the first room in your game. Okay, and yeah. Okay, so I'm pressing H here. Yep, so as you can see here, we have this string that says 1, and that's basically the DS list size of the socket. Because when we start the game, the list will be empty, of course, so its size will be 0. But once this event is triggered by another client that's trying to connect, then this script will be executed. What does it do? So yeah, so basically we're saying here, if someone is trying to connect, if it did, then we're going to add a socket to our list, to our sockets list, and the same thing to the map. I think we can actually export this and see if it works with more clients. So let me just change this to single runtime. Alright, let's save it. Okay. Alright, so let's go and test the game. Alright, so this is the server, so I'm pressing H here. Okay. So this is the second instance of the game, then we're going to press G this time. And as you can see here, as this client connects to the server, the DS list size will increase. So let's run another client, and let's press G again. So as you can see, the DS list size keep increasing for every client that is trying to connect. Okay, so once we close a client, then the connection will be, the client will not be connected to the server anymore, so it will just remove it from the list. Okay, and yeah, so that's basically it. Let me just see how many half hour. Okay, so I'm just going to stop here, and in the next video we're going to see how we can spawn a player after sending a play request to the server. Alright, so that was all for today, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.